What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I want to focus in on Shane Doan's future in Arizona beyond this season and whether or not he should have a Ray Bourque moment. Now, I talked about this a couple times when Arizona announced they were going to fire Sale. He was not going to be moved. He doesn't want to leave the Coyotes, and obviously the trade deadline came and went. He didn't leave Phoenix. And I talked about another piece, the similarities between him and fellow Arizona athlete Larry Fitzgerald in terms of playing for long morbid franchises, then like right around the middle of their career having great moments. Obviously, in Fitzgerald's case, going to the Super Bowl, having that awesome touchdown, ultimately losing the Super Bowl, and then in Doan's case, having a surprise round of the Western Conference Finals back in 2012. Unfortunately, it's kind of all falling apart in the desert. Massachusetts native Keith Yandel's no longer with the Coyotes. Antoine Vermette's gone. They've really completely overhauled. It's actually Yandel's still their leading scorer, just FYI. But a lot of things have changed, and there's going to be an off season of uncertainty. There's a good chance Arizona lands a Jack Eichel or Connor McDavid, play like that. But you can't bank on stuff like that happening. And even if they do land McDavid or Eichel, they're not going to be overnight contenders in a very tough Western Conference. So, the question remains at age 38, he'll be 39 by the time next season starts. Should Doan be moved for his Ray Bourque moment? And I think so. It's tough. He wants to stay put, and I respect him for that. He's a classy player. He loves playing in Arizona, loves the fans there. As maligned as, the fan, people from outside of the greater Phoenix area saying, oh, they have fans in Phoenix, but Doan's a really loyal guy. His family's set up in Arizona. He wants to raise his kids in Phoenix, and really build the rest of his life there. And he grew up there. He's being 2021 when the team relocated from Winnipeg to really blossoming into a great player. And in Phoenix, he's been there for almost 20 years, almost about half his life, and that's a big time thing. Arizona's paying half of Yandel's contract. That was part of the deal moving the Rangers. If they could eat part of his contract, maybe you can go to Pittsburgh or even Montreal, Vancouver. I want to see Doaner go out with the Stanley Cup. I love the way he plays the game. I love the passion he plays with. And I think even at 39, he can still bring something to a contending team. What that is, I don't know, but I think for his loyalty and his, the way he plays the game hard and plays the game right, I'd like to see him have that chance to compete. Maybe not win, but just have a shot to compete for one last chance of the Cup. Because you forget with Ray Bourque, when he first got traded to Colorado, they lost in the Western Conference Finals to Dallas. And he chose to come back for one more year. And obviously that was 2001. The Avalanche had one of the best teams of all time. Won in the playoffs, had a few tough series, and won the Stanley Cup in Denver in 7 against the New Jersey Devils. And anyone that loves hockey and as a Boston Bruins fan, the image of Ray Bourque skating around the ice with the Stanley Cup, everyone would like to have seen it in Boston, but the fact that he was able to win it with a classy team like guys like Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg, still pretty good. And I'm sure fans in the desert want the same for Shane Doan. This is a guy that deserves to have his name etched on the Stanley Cup, and long shot to happen. But if he can be moved to another situation where he can just get that shot to try to compete and win, it's not necessarily Stanley Cup chasing either. It's not like a guy going like, and I don't fault him for it. Brendan Morrow going from Dallas to the Penguins to last year St. Louis, now he's with Tampa. He's playing on good teams for a reason, and there's no shame in that at all. It's a guy similar to Doan. Plays the game hard, a lot of tenacity, wants a chance to win the Stanley Cup, and I think that if Doan can put himself in a similar situation, that would be great for hockey. Doaner with his name on the Stanley Cup would be fantastic. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all I got. Sort of the power play with CJ on the possibility of Shane Doan having a Ray Bourque moment. Stay tuned for more episodes of the season and beyond. Later, guys.